what is happening. This is the nucleus of entrepreneurship, great minds, great thinking. I got to meet some other incredible business owners while I've been on this trip. And really the message is clear. It's innovate or die. And I want you guys to be thinking about that. All of our rolling with the D fans, all of our rolling with the D supporters, our rolling with the D, followers. I want you to be thinking about that, and I wanted to talk to you guys, just a little bit about that tonight. These Phase 2 specs, pretty sick, huh? Check them out. They're actually branded. I don't know if we can actually catch this. I'll try to get in there close enough, but you can see the brand. They got the brand, the Facebook brand right there. You can see it. You can see it. Pretty cool, pretty cool. But yeah, these are my Phase 2 specs. I picked these up out here. So what I wanted to talk to you guys tonight about was just about becoming the brand. So I want you to be thinking about, if you work for a company right now, or you're on a team right now, or you're thinking about starting a company, I want you to be thinking about what it means to become the brand. Because one of the things that I witnessed, as I was on the Facebook campus and I was meeting the different, staff members. I met, one person that came all the way from Dublin. I met somebody all the way from, there was all over the country, from different countries, from, Asia to the Europe, North America, South America. So it was a big, melting pot of people that I got to meet. But one of the cool things is, as I was talking to these people, we went to a little happy hour at the end of the day, and I was talking to them. They are the brand. They are, Facebook. They are the brand. So what are you doing every day? If you have your own company, if you're thinking about starting a company, what are you doing to become the brand? What are you doing to brand, not just, brand recognition, but to brand yourself as the brand? There's a big thing when you get on a team. If you think about some of the great sports teams like the Chicago Bulls, and you think of what? Michael Jordan, he was the brand. You think of New York Yankees, you think of what? Derek Jeter, he is the brand. So for you, think about the team you're on or the company that you're going to start. You're going to need to be thinking about becoming the brand. In my company, the Salon Project 1.0, 1.0, how do you become the brand? We talk about, what does 1.0 mean? One mission, one team, one vision, one goal, one world. We are one. It's about vision, it's about focus. And so people that are moving up in our company are those brand ambassadors. They become the brand. Now they may not have, gone out and got one of these, got the tattoo on their neck, but they're becoming the brand. And you start to develop this sense of ownership. And that's what it's going to take for you. If you're not the owner of your company, the company that maybe you work with or work for, that doesn't mean that you can't develop an ownership mentality. That doesn't mean that you can't start to become the brand. And as we start to move, forward, we're coming up on the 2015. I can't believe it's like right around the corner. 2014 is almost in the books. We're already halfway through November, so we're less, about 45 days out from the new year. And is the new year going to be when you decide to become the brand? Is today going to be when you decide? Because once you decide, the rest really, it is easy. But you have to decide on becoming the brand. You have to know the brand, inside and out, and make a decision. Make a decision, a conscious decision, because things are happening to you unconsciously every single day. Sometimes you end up places, you've had those moments where you kind of were unconscious. You ever, drove somewhere and, all of a sudden you're driving and then you realize you just missed the last 5 minutes of the drive. You missed the, like, you don't even, all of a sudden you end up somewhere and you're like, I don't even remember the last 5 minutes. What happened? It was a moment of unconsciousness. But when you start to wake up, we're talking about conscious, making a conscious decision to wake up and decide that you are going to become the brand. Now, again, it doesn't mean that you necessarily own the company or you own the team or you're a founder. You could be a first week, employee. You could be a new hire. You might not even be hired, but you could decide, I'm going to become the brand. And that's what I think is going to play into the success. And that's what's going to separate the winners from the losers as we move forward because there's a lot at stake, right? This is your life. This next year, could be your best year ever, and it needs to be. I know we're working in our company. This year coming up is going to be our biggest year ever. Everyone we're getting focused, and every individual is going to have their best year ever. This is going to be, an epic year for you. This is going to be an epic year for what you're trying to do, within the company that you work with or work for. But the focus that I really want you to start getting into is how am I becoming the brand? What am I doing on a daily basis? What am I doing? It's the daily that lead up to the weekly, that lead up to the monthly, that lead up to the yearly. So what are you doing? Ask yourself, what are you doing today as an ambassador, as you're working as an ambassador for the company? What are you doing? What do you have planned this week as an ambassador for the company, a brand ambassador? What is the brand? Maybe you're working in a company, you're not even sure, what it is, what it represents, what being the brand means. Because I know as I was at the Facebook headquarters, it was it was definitely the sense of each person that I talked to, a sense of the brand. And when I saw, Mark Zuckerberg, he was there working with a couple guys, and everybody, it's like, oh, there's Mark, there's Mark. And I'm like, have you met Mark? And I start talking to different employees, and they're like, yeah, we met him. He does company meetings. He does Q&As with us, and he is the brand. And they were all like, ecstatic just to share, their experience with him and actually be on the Facebook team. And I sensed that, and I thought, wow, that's the kind of companies that are actually making a difference, not only on the global scene when it comes to like social media, but we're talking about people's lives. People that are there, they've become Facebook. They went and they applied, right? They went and they took the application, they got the job, but then once they got the job, that's when the work started, and the work started for of them becoming Facebook, becoming the brand. So when you start thinking about your company, you start thinking about your goals, you start thinking about what you have planned for today, this week, this month, the rest of this year, which is almost over, and more importantly, now you're looking at 2015. Make a decision that you're going to become the brand. Make a decision that when somebody sees you in action and they see your work, they can put a stamp on it and say, you know what, that's the brand, whatever that brand is. When they see you in action, they can put that stamp on it, and that's what it's going to be. And that this year coming up, I'm telling you guys, it's going to be about being a brand. It's going to be about becoming the brand. And that's what you're going to need to focus on. So start thinking about how you're carrying yourself, representing that brand that you're working with now, or developing now. And you can become that. I know that was the decision I made. I got to share some of this with the team over there at Facebook. When I decided to get this tattoo, we weren't even physically established yet. But in my head, I knew it was all in commitment. I knew what it was going to take. I knew it wasn't going to be easy, but I knew it was going to be worth it. So I made that commitment in my head, 100% commitment. And when I decided to put a tattoo of the brand on my neck, branding myself, literally branding myself, it was so that reminder would be there. That reminder every single day. I could not look in the mirror and see it. And that's why I put it smack dab on the neck. So I'd see it every day as a reminder of the mission, of the vision, of the goal, of the team, of the world, of the impact that 1.0 is gonna make on everybody that it touches on the path. And that's for me about the brand. So when you think about your brand, what it whether it has a symbol or not, what it symbolizes. When we see that logo, we see the Facebook logo, we know, and now having spent some time at the Facebook headquarters, it's a lot deeper. There's a lot more meaning. And it came across in everybody that I talked to. So when people are talking to you, think about this. What's coming across? What's coming across when people are talking, to you, or when they hear you speaking, when they see you walk in a room? What do they think? What do they see? What is kind of coming off of you, like almost like a little force field around you? Like, what does that look like? What does your glow look like? What does your energy feel like? What does it smell like? Your brand when you're thinking about it. So what I want you to be doing, in this, maybe take this weekend and start to think about what the brand is that you represent, what the brand is that you identify with, what the brand is that you want other people to say when they see it and they recognize it. What does it look like? What does it sound like? What does it represent? And start putting together your mission statement, your own mission statement, your personal vision statement, your personal mission statement for what your brand is. And that's what it's about. It's about brand awareness. And I'm excited to go into this topic even a little deeper. We'll be coming back to the East Coast. So, next week we'll be back on East Coast time next week. So I'm excited to get back. But this trip has just been an eye opener for me about what a brand is, about what a brand could be, about what it looks like through the eyes of other people, that weren't even the creators. And it's got me really excited to not only represent my own brand, but to have, the people on my team, understand that and be able to represent the brand fully, execute the brand